Hey everybody, it's a Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this week's episode of the Typical Manga Review is dedicated to Inside Mari, Chapter 64, Be Honest. We just get a nice little cover page of Yori, just in front of the houses.
Yay!
Yep. And Isao is continuing his call out from before. It's like, let's stop doing this me inside of Mari stuff. It's all a lie, right? None of it's remotely possible. And you know that as well as I do, don't you? Like, I feel sorry, I bet she just took it too far. At first, she was just pretending to be me, but then you played along, and maybe she convinced herself.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of close, but he's not exactly that. She had believed it about it. She believed that she was Isao from the very start.
Yeah, like it's definitely like.
But I mean, at the same time, though, that's all he could really come up with from his perspective. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. That's all he could really say.
Yeah, you can't blame him for coming to that conclusion with what he knows.
No, yeah, because what we know is that we know what Mari was thinking of when she was alone. So we get us at the audience gets like a inside perspective, whereas he can't. But he is very close, and so Yori's like, no, we didn't lie, and he's just like, then where's your proof?
Like, there's plenty of information, like plenty of proof. Not really. It's all information she could have gotten from spying on me. And it's like, and the real Mari wouldn't have given you a hand job. Like, that is just your assumption.
That was a hilarious response. Just like,
yeah, you'd give yourself a handy any time, but not her.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting though? They never came to the conclusion of asking her something that only the Isao would have known, like what he did when he was in like middle school. Because all the stuff that Mari got from Isao was like something you could observe. What about the stuff you can't observe? Like maybe.
Bear in mind, Isao never believed it in the first place by going by this.
No, exactly. But what I'm saying is that if he ever decided to to actually convince Mari that she's not really him, he said, well, what do you know about this? Something that only I know of, or something that you have to have known me from a long time ago, which Mari did not. She only knew him recently.
Yeah. Anyway, back on the chapter, like Isao asked Yori. He says an odd thing, right? It's like she's beautiful, which made the situation even worse. Probably because he had a hard time resisting it for himself. I assume is that what he meant by that. But he asked Yori to take him to Mari so he can help her. Like, you don't have to do this anymore. You don't need to get into it any deeper. And then a guy in a convenience store comes, mistakes him for Yori for his girlfriend, and things go downhill.
Yeah.
And then Yori runs off, like tells Komori not to see her, like never talk to her again. Sitting on the bench, her sister Mari appears finally. Like, it's late, so here I am looking for you again. So what are you doing here, looking so forlorn?
Yeah. Well, I actually want before that happens, I want to point out one thing that I don't know. I forgot if you just mentioned this, but Yori said to Sal, which is, "You're Nakamori."
Oh yeah, you're right. That's not the one that she knows. Like, we've kind of touched on this before, I think, haven't we? Like, she sees the Komori and Mari as someone else entirely.
Yeah. So it's rather interesting that she basically said to the real Isao, he's not Isao, because she's not the Isao that she knew.
Something kind of funny. Oh, go ahead.
Well, it just shows me that she has now differentiated Isao from, from what she...
From real Isao, yeah.
Yeah, from real Isao. And also to the point where, remember she said, like, the Isao that she even knew before, the real one, is changing. He's actually going out and getting a job.
Straightening up, flying right.
Yeah, so I think she's fallen in love with the Isao that, was kind of like out there, and of course the one that was actually in Mari.
Yeah, and one little thing I noticed here as well, when Yori's sitting on the bench and we're flashing back to Isao talking, notice that little goofy expression on his face. Is that I'm wondering if that's how Yori saw him. Like with the lips and the eyes.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because you get the blur in the background kind of makes it like it's her imagination.
Yeah, or maybe. Well, she didn't have her glasses off during that scene, so maybe that's part of it.
Wait, did she?
Most of it.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, yeah, you're right.
Anyway, so like his sister Mari has shown up, and then they kind of talk a little bit. Like, Yori worries if it's her fault that our Mari has lost her mind. Doesn't say a word. She just doesn't go to school. Just stays at home staring out the window. It's like she's become empty. And in the end, maybe everything she did has only pushed her to that. Yori's done this, just pushed her to the breaking point. But Sister Mari assures her, like, don't beat yourself up. I mean, you love Mari loved you, right? She ran all over the place looking for you that night. And thanks to her, you and I can actually talk to each other.
Oh, character development here. This is good.
And we get like another big one here. It's like, be honest, you love her too, don't you? Yep. And she actually gives like a little playful pat rustle on the head, like a little playful noogie.
Yeah.
Like, it's the first time I've seen that expression on your face.
Oh,
like,
we get some. I like this connection here. We have some bonding going on. We see more of the relationship, and we also see how Mari has positively affected Yori's life.
Yep.
You know, in ways that she would have never thought was possible.
Any of them really, either of them would have thought possible.
Yeah. So, you know, if there's the new, and it's also ironic that she's talking to someone who's named Mari.
Yeah. And like she's no expert, but like not being able to express yourself is like makes a person even crazier and crazier, huh? But if there's even one person in the world who understands your true feelings, nothing could make you happier.
Wait, let's go back to that little quote. Makes a person. Who does that sound like?
Are you thinking Mari? Mari?
Yeah. Not being able to express herself.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much. Yeah, pretty much like the whole Fumiko fiasco.
Yeah. So
Fumiko
obviously
fiasco.
she would understand Yori. So Yori being able to relate to her, at least on a smaller scale, is probably what can bring her back from this.
Yep.
Whatever catatonic state she's in.
Yep. And yet, chapter ends with Yori pretty much wearing that "I swear I'll save her."
It's the knight in shining armor.
Yep.
But
We're getting a lot of that this time. Like we got it with Wave and Kurome, Bertholt.
I'll save you.
And now I know what order I'm going to be uploading these videos in. Right, anyway, so this is interesting. Like this is probably the meatiest chapter we've had in a while.
Really? Yeah, I know.
Like a lot of a lot of stuff happening on just about every page.
Yeah, this is not the nothing's happening. This is a shitload of shit stuff happening.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, the first thing we have is Sal coming into conflict. The real Sal coming into conflict with Yori, you know, because he's like, look, she's not really me, you know. That's freaking impossible. And then Yori's in denial, and I think she still is in a sense.
Yeah, she's not quite accepting of the whole situation here.
Yeah, because she's basically that would basically mean that the Sal she fell in love with is not real. That's basically what it would mean. And I think she would rather have this Sal than the original Mari or whatever Mari she knew at this point. And so it's interesting that I don't know if this is the last we'll see of Sal for a long time, but
it's hard. We thought that before though.
Yeah.
Like when Yori when they last left his apartment, we thought that too. So I don't know. Like he could still have a role in this, just because it's funny. Like he straightened up, he's flying right. I wonder if something could happen to make him relapse back to the way he was.
Yeah. I don't know. So it's really interesting that
You're breaking up.
That you might think that Sal might be okay. So kind of missed the last one. You saying what would happen to Sal? Like he would go back to the way he was?
Yeah, like as if he might. I don't know what might trigger it right offhand, but maybe like something would cause him to relapse, like make him think that all this hard work was for nothing, so why bother?
No, I think he's realized that. I think he's realized that he needs to grow up. I think this is okay for him. I don't think he's going to relapse. It would be a disappointment, in my opinion, if he would relapse, because
actually, in a weird way, this almost goes back to what Sister Mari was saying. Like not being able to express yourself makes you crazier, but if you feel someone might understand you, that makes all the difference. He's doing this for Mari, like because he felt Mari might do something better if he gave him something to believe in. So maybe that kind of relates to that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think while he does want Mari to love him, I think he realizes that he doesn't really he doesn't have to have someone who to depend on like that anymore. He is out of his own delusion.
Just as Mari is getting firmer into hers.
Yeah. So this Sal is basically separated from the original Sal. The original Sal is gone, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
So this Sal has basically reformed. And then now we go to the new. I like how they do these plays, like the real Sal, the sister Mari, the original Mari.
That's been us. Mari. Yeah. Those have been all our nicknames, haven't they?
But they're obviously distinct personalities or distinct personas.
Yeah.
So we get this development from sisters. I mean, I like this. This is her being a sister. Be honest, you love her too. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, this is definitely a good chapter on here. Like, it get pretty much like it can. Do you think it confirms a lot of stuff that we kind of talked about already? Like the theories. Like we pretty much have it flat out said that she's lost her mind. Mari has.
Um. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I always thought that was pretty obvious to begin with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You broke up just a tiny bit right there.
Oh, yeah. One sec.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it basically.
Yeah. But actually, we definitely have some development here. But now the question is, what is Yori going to do about it? Because if you think about it, she doesn't actually know anything. I don't. She knows about Fumiko. She knows that there's memories inside Mari. She knows that presumably these are the real Mari's memories now. She seems at least she's on the path of working that out. But what can we do about it? She doesn't know the whole Fumiko Mari was originally Fumiko thing, unless Mari told her about that. I don't think she did she?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
That's just us.
At least not on screen.
Yeah, only we the audience know about that. At this point, she still believes that you know, this sounds more. Although I think the delusions. The delusions weakening.
Yep.
I think now she's gonna have to clash with that in the next chapter or whatever.
Yes. Of course, this probably might mean conflicting with Yori's mother or Mari's mother.
Yeah, but the most important part about this is the climax of her character development, which is now that she is going to she basically has admitted that she loves Mari.
Yep.
She's going to save her, which is something that Yori would have never ever. I mean, it was building up to this, and I think the climax kind of performed this very well. So yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's funny. Like the chapter where all this stuff is going on, we don't really have much to theorize on.
Not mine.
But chapters where like hardly anything happens, like we go nuts.
I mean, there's only one place we're going to, really.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's like we just need to see like how she'll start saving her because you always get that declaration a lot, but what exactly will that mean in this case?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, do you have anything else you wanted to bring up before we wrap up?
No, not really.
Right, in that case, that has been our little bit brief and usual review of Inside Mari, Chapter 64. Be honest, you liked it. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye.